everyone, it's DL Walker here, and welcome to another vidcast of Step Up with DL Walker. And today I'm joined by Gwen Lepard, who is a good friend, and she is a Radiant Relationship Luminary who lights the way to self-love, joy, and worthiness. As a speaker, baggage begone transformational facilitator, and creator of the Lepard Method certification program, helping empaths make empathy your expertise. She empowers empaths who've experienced narcissistic abuse, overcome their relationship baggage, optimize self-love, and own their personal power so that they can have love, peace, and freedom they desire. What she's really passionate about is creating radiant relationships that stand the test of time. Welcome, Gwen.
Hey, DL, it's so great to be here.
Thank you so much for being on. I am looking forward to catching up with what you're doing. And I understand, I think that you are now coming full circle after 36 years. And I'm not going to steal your power. What are you doing?
I've created the Lepard Method certification program, and literally this has been 36 years in the making. And I mean, to start off, I'd love to tell you a little bit about my story.
Absolutely.
So a little over 10 years ago, I was married to who I thought was the man of my dreams, but he had this rage problem. And then on July 31st, 2009, after years of verbally whipping me, he did it for real. He used a pair of wet pants, and when I felt the zipper come around and hit me in the corner of the eye, I was just shocked and stunned. He had already thrown coffee on me, and I was trying to clean that up when he whipped me with this pants. And he said, I'm going to keep coming down on you harder and harder until you stop doing stupid things. And the stupid thing that I did was put clothes in the laundry with the pants so that it would do the job best. And so I feared for my life, and I fled to the gully near our home. I lived in Montana at the time, and I sat there just shaking and feeling that cold, clammy, nasty coffee, stale coffee all over my belly and my chest. And I looked at my phone, and there was no one I could call, because as a narcissist, I had allowed him to alienate everyone in my life because he had to have absolute control. No one was good enough. Even my father, that lived 2 miles away, had been alienated because of one of our business decisions. So I'm looking at my phone and I'm going, there's no one. And then the first number was a cousin, and she's going through a horrific divorce herself. She's an attorney. She never answers her phone, and she answered it. And she said, I'm worried about you. You need to make a plan. And I said, I don't plan. I leave today. And that was the day I began my journey back to myself.
Wow. And that was 36 years ago.
That was not. The journey started before then, but that is the piece that galvanized me back to myself, because I had so lost myself being in a relationship with a narcissist for over 10 years that I lost all of my tools. And one of the first things I allowed him to take away from me was the ability to do massage. It's like, I had worked with thousands of people. I worked backstage at in Southern California with names that you would recognize in the jazz and some in the pop, and thousands of people had said, I feel so good, and I'd made a difference in their lives, and oh my gosh, can I put you in my pocket and take you with me? There was one band that wanted me to take me on tour with them, and one of the first times I worked on him, he was like, "Oh, you must be doing it wrong." Something that thousands of people had told me I did great. One person who I trusted was able to take all of that away, and I allowed it. Yes. Taking responsibility for that, I allowed it.
Yeah, I think that most of us can relate on some level to that experience. It brought up something, a similar thing that happened to me. It was different in that there wasn't the physical abuse, but there was the rage that was not. There was no warning about it. There was no, I mean, this didn't really happen, but it could have been like, I could have said, could you pass the salt? And, there would be an explosion. And so I think by the time we get to be a certain age, we've all experienced someone like that in our personal life, and maybe they still exist in our world, either directly or indirectly, and you get that memory coming back. Yeah. So how do you handle this? How did you get to the point where you are? You bring up a very, very important word, and you've done it a couple of times, is you allowed. So you acknowledge that. And so is that the first step?
The first step was actually meeting a young man that spoke at a ladies' luncheon that I was at. And it was like, I didn't know what he had, but I knew I wanted it. So I signed up for what they had going on. And it was actually training in NLP and hypnotherapy and coaching, life coaching, success strategies, leadership, and EFT. So there was spiral dynamics, time dynamics. There were all of these certifications that I could get. And of course, I was doing it for someone else. I wanted to use this, to help other people because I couldn't do it for myself. Mm-hmm. I was still under a fog from the relationship. And this was about a year and a half out after leaving. And so I attended all of these courses and got the knowledge and ended up working for the company behind the scenes. I just really immersed myself in everything that they did. And so that was my first step back, because I was still, I remember working with the owner of the company, and we were on our way to LA to do an event. And I said something, I don't even know what it was. And he said, Gwen, he said, I'm not an abuser, and even I want to abuse you because you're coming from such a place of victimhood. And I was just like stunned. It was like he'd thrown water on me, which was something that he actually sometimes did from stage to break someone's state, because I was in such victimhood. I was totally at cause or totally at effect. I didn't take responsibility for everything. It's like it had all happened to me. Mm-hmm. Somebody else had done it to me. And that was the wake-up call of, you need to get into the place where you're taking responsibility for everything that's happened in your life. And what was interesting is my former husband believed that. And yet through our time together, I allowed, by choice after choice after choice, him to demoralize me, call me stupid, take away all of my power, because I loved him and I wanted him to be happy. And you cannot make a narcissist happy. You cannot make anybody else happy. You can only be responsible for your own happiness. Right. That's like one of the big keys, is there's only one person we're responsible for, and that's ourselves. And that's something that a lot of empaths do, especially disempowered empaths. They're taking the responsibility, the load of the world upon their shoulders. And and so that's one reason why, after all of my journey, that I wanted to help other empaths.
So for those people who might not understand, what is an empath? What is disempowered empath?
Okay, awesome. Thank you for asking that, DL. An empath is someone that really feels physically in their body what other people are feeling. They can feel pain, they can feel sadness, they can feel emotions, they can literally take on symptoms of someone that is ill, or somebody that's joyful as well. But typically, as a disempowered empath, you're taking on a lot of the negative emotions. And because you feel people's pain, you want to fix it because you feel the pain. So oftentimes a disempowered empath will try to fix people without any permission, and then cause resentment and get totally sucked in and drained. Narcissists love empaths. They just, nice juicy energy, and they'll just lap you right up. They'll allow you to feel needed, because disempowered empaths need to feel needed.
Absolutely.
So a narcissist will allow you to feel needed while they suck your life force. And that's what they do. They literally do not have the part of the brain that allows them to feel empathy. It's malformed in a true narcissist.
So maybe they're trying to get that from the empath or something. Or
Maybe I love you putting a positive spin on that. That's so good, DL.
the empath is needing to learn something from the, yeah, I'm all positive.
Exactly. It's so true. I mean, the gift of the narcissist for the empath is it kicks you into your gifts.
Right.
That you and that was one of the things that happened for me.
Yeah, yeah. And I think we were just talking before we went live where, my feeling is that, everybody, it's a spectrum of being empathic. And you did agree with it.
Absolutely.
Everybody has some sort of, except for the narcissist, some degree of
the narcissists and a few other, like psychopaths, sociopaths that don't have the capacity to feel empathy. Yes, everyone has a degree of empathy. It's just those that are actual empaths have it too. It's heightened. And if you're empowered, I mean, then you create great boundaries. You're doing what you can make money doing what you love. When someone's feeling bad, you can ask, hey, would you like help with that? Because you find the tools. And that's why I'm working with empaths.
Right, yeah. And again, some people might not even realize that they are empathic. I didn't, I always, when that saying, you don't understand someone until you've walked in their shoes. And I think that's 100% true. But in many ways, I felt people's pain, or it's helped me in my practice where
Absolutely. You knew where the pain was.
Yeah, I could tune in on the feeling that I got from just interacting with a person and, and without even consciously, thinking about it, just going where I felt like I needed to go. And 9 times out of 10, it was the correct place. So for people, like for myself, that was very empowering. But then in personal relationships, it could be very disempowering because, again, I had difficulty setting boundaries. In some ways, I still do with certain people, particularly family. For me. So yeah, being able to go ahead and do that. And again, just having that deep need for wanting to help someone out. But like you said, they might not want your help.
Exactly. And they may think that they're just fine. They don't want to be fixed because they don't feel the pain that you're feeling because they have numbed it out.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved what you were talking about, having difficulties doing boundaries with family. And I call that the shadow cloak of responsibility, because it's usually someone that you feel responsible for, that you take on this shadow cloak, which ties you down and weighs you down. And that's, one of the things that I do to help people, empaths, remove that. And somebody that may not know that they're an empath. I mean, if you need to recharge in nature, if you need alone time, if you need, if all of a sudden you're feeling bad when you were having a great day, look around you. You're probably feeling somebody else's stuff. And if you live in an apartment building and you're a sensitive empath, a highly sensitive empath, oh my gosh, I mean, you don't feel good most of the time. And, I have tools, I have a spray, I have all kinds of things that can help empaths feel better in their environment, because sometimes you can't change your environment right away. And sometimes, we get, like I'll get clients on the path of changing their environment.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, what would be your top 3 pieces of advice for, for somebody who may have some of these, or maybe relating to some of these characteristics, to make life a little bit easier for themselves, to go from a disempowered empath to an empowered empath? What would they do?
So the first thing is to ask the question, is this mine? So you're feeling a feeling. it's good to like compartmentalize it or put it in a container. I love containers, flexibilities within containers. So put it into a container, like put a ball outside of you. And it's like, okay, this feeling is in my gut. So let's put it out here. Is this mine? Or maybe just put your hand on your gut. Is this mine? And learning to trust the yes, no is so empowering for an empath, because they're constantly being gaslit, which is crazy making, and basically saying, you know, what you're feeling doesn't exist and you're imagining things and there's no way that that's true. Gaslighting is crazy. I mean, totally crazy making and very, very disempowering. And it happens a lot in our society. And so getting to know your own yes, no is super important. Like one way that you can practice that is like if you're getting dressed, it's like look at your closet and look at the things that you love and that you wear a lot. And it's like you take it out. It's like yes, yes, no, no. So learn how to know what is a yes and what is a no. So if you're using, say, your body, if you move forward, so there is a caveat to that. So when you're grounded, which may be a better thing to do first, when you're grounded, going forward is your yes. Most people going forward is yes, going back is a no. Mm-hmm. So as you're and some people hear it. So asking, is this mine? Maybe you hear yes, maybe you hear no. Maybe you see yes, maybe you see no. Maybe you move forward, maybe you move back. So that gives you the information. And if it's not yours, you can take it, put it in that container that we put it in and throw that container down a grounding cord. So grounding is really important for empaths. Yeah. And you can do a simple grounding with just putting your feet on the floor, your hands on your heart, and taking a deep breath and letting it out. Why don't we do that real quick? Okay. So feet on the floor, hands on your heart, take a deep breath in and out. And take another one in and out. Now bring your attention to the space between your hands and your heart. And in that space, you may feel something, you may not, but this is a place where you can tap into yourself, tap into your heart, which is, it's one of the brains. We have 3 of them. And your intuitive heart is 100% accurate on yes, no's, and on knowing whether something good is coming or something bad is coming. Your heart knows before your body, before your unconscious knows, it knows before your body knows, it knows before your conscious mind knows. In fact, your heart knows, it tells your subconscious tells your body, and then your body tells your conscious mind. When you reach your conscious mind, that's what you make your decisions from, and it's the last to know. Mm-hmm. So tapping into that heart and just settling and grounding for a moment is really, really powerful. So we have the container of, is this mine? Yes, no. If no, just throw it down your grounding cord. As you're putting your hands on your heart, breathing, connecting with your heart, getting the yes, no from there. And the grounding cord is from the base of your spine, going into the center of the planet, nice and wide, the width of your hips. The inside is slippery, it's set on release, and it is magnetic. So whatever it is that you're here to release, it's easily drawn down into the center of the planet. So you can allow that grounding cord to be there to clear anything that's not yours. Okay. Okay.
That's number 1.
No, that was 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So the container of asking, is it yours, is 1. The tapping into your heart is number 2, and the grounding cord is number 3. Though you might want to start with the grounding cord so that when you ask the question, is it mine, you have that grounding cord to drop it down. And if you start with your heart, then your yes, no is accurate.
Okay.
So it can be used in any order,
Very
but probably the reverse of how I brought it in.
well. Again, it's all perspective, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
And I think too, whatever's going to work better for you, for you. Sometimes I think as somebody who has, is empathic, sometimes situations we know in advance are going to be not our stuff and challenging. And, I was recently getting, I was getting an infusion. I don't have cancer, but at a cancer treatment center. And boy, is that tough energy.
Yeah, it really is.
I would leave there. Yeah, I would have a tough time there.
Yeah.
So
empaths shouldn't live near hospitals.
no.
And I mean, if they're nurses, which a lot of empaths do go into the healing field and wellness and nursing and such areas, because they want to take care of people and help alleviate pain. But when they're in their alone time, they need to be away from places where people are in pain.
Yeah.
And if they can live near nature, that's ideal, or bring nature into the home, like having a fountain or something that can, bird sounds, ocean sounds, something that will help mitigate the human noise that we feel and sometimes hear. There's the different modalities. It's like you might see somebody's pain, like you and like you just felt it. You knew, as a massage therapist, that same thing. It's like my hands immediately went to, how did you know that was there? I didn't even know that was there, right? Yeah, so you feel it, you might hear it, you might, because I'll hear where somebody's in pain. It's like, and then I get the validation from the physical.
Sometimes it's a combination too.
Yeah.
I think that it can be, again, powerful as far as treatment, but again, knowing when to turn it off. And I think people who are in the healing professions, especially, could really benefit from this type of training or modality. So tell us more about that.
About the Lepard Method
Yes.
certification program. Thank you. It's a year-long program to become a transformation facilitator. And I have 2 levels. There's the Mastery, which is a group program, and then the Jedi, which gets lots of one-on-one. There's also quarterly group breakthroughs, as well as proficiency, and also you're an intern, so you get to work with some of my clients. So that you get the feedback from people that have already experienced my work. And though it's actually launching here really soon. And but this is like, it's been 36 years in the making. I started doing the things that I've learned in the last 36 years all are part of this program. And I will be doing it more than just this year. But if you want to be part of the very first one, where everything's live and you're part of the creation of it, you're there at the beginning, then you definitely want to reach out and get on my calendar soon.
So when somebody is receives the certification, what is is that something they'll keep for themselves, or is that something that they'll then become a practitioner? Or
so that's up to them. It's really up to who, the group program originally is for people that want to know the modalities and basically use them for themselves. But I'm including the business because there's so many modalities out there, and no one teaches you how to do a business. So right from the get-go, every month, we do a modality. The first week is modality. The second week is business and business related, so that you can, and especially as an empath, it can be very difficult to have a business as an empath. 1, you're not trained how to do it, and 2, what training you did get is it's not okay to receive money for your gifts. It's like, you just want to make people feel better. I don't want to get paid. So we have to do a lot of breakthroughs in limiting beliefs around that. Then the third week we do a Q&A and clearings. And so about the modalities and the business, if you have questions, bring them to that call. And then the fourth week is for the Jedis one-on-one and any other clients that I work with. Though I'll be working with my private clients throughout the time. And then the fifth week, if there's a fifth week, which there this year, well, actually, there's 4 months this year that have a fifth week, and that week we get to take off. So it's not all work all year long. Yeah, and so that's in the group and the Jedi. And then, like I said, the Jedi have more one-on-one time with me and group breakthrough sessions quarterly, and quarterly proficiency and introduction to my to all of my trusted resources. And so the certification, yes, you can get it and put it on the wall and do nothing with it, or you can get it and you can really create a business with it, because that's how I've designed it. The more empowered empaths, the more people out there sharing their gifts, it's going to be a better world. And Lepard method, I mean, there are methods out there. It's like you learn the method and that's, you learn that method and you don't do anything outside of that. The Lepard method is a pathway to empower empaths, because most of the people that want to work with me have already done, like I did, have so many certifications on the wall or in a drawer somewhere that they're not using, and they don't know how to connect the dots, how to have purpose for all of these different modalities. So that's part of what the Lepard method is doing, is creating a container where you can bring in what you already know, learn more, maybe, and how I put it together, and see how that works, and so that you can take it out and do it the way that you would do it. How would you do it better? How would you do it differently? How would you make the Lepard method your own?
Right.
And then make your own method.
Sure.
Yes. So yes, that's my ultimate goal, is to really empower empaths and those that have these skill sets to make a difference in the world and get paid well while they do it.
Right. And have radiant relationships too, right? Because
yes, absolutely. And of course, the first radiant relationship is with yourself always. And yeah, creating the connections. I mean, in these days, our connections are they're video, unless you have someone that you're living with that you can actually feel safe with. And connection is what we want. And that's I have a free audio that I'm giving to everyone. It's a relationship clearing audio. It's 3 steps, and you can use it for any kind of relationship, because we're just balls of energy. We're 360 degrees spheres of bouncing around. Even online, our energies are commingling, because we're interacting, and we collect things because we want connection. And so it's good to keep that clear. And it's people have found it really, really helpful. One gal couldn't sleep, and then after listening to the audio, she actually slept for the first time in years.
Yeah. And I think too, people can become upset by the things that they read on Facebook.
Oh boy, let's not go there.
That should definitely be a free gift, because there are things that will trigger us, in social media, or again, things that will infiltrate your messages and that kind of thing. And I know that, especially in the last few months, that's becoming more and more challenging for sure. And, when there is that negativity and anger, and as an empath, you absorb that, you can absorb that kind of thing, and really being able to protect yourself, and just being tolerant and sending that person love, and
oh yeah,
so just saying, what, this is their truth, and if I want people to understand or respect my truth, then I need to respect theirs, regardless of
absolutely
agree or disagree. And I think that we've, many of us, myself included, will just, state our points and not acknowledge. And I have come to the point where I am acknowledging people very, very straight away. Like, I understand, what? I want you to know that I honor and respect your opinion. I, however, have had a different experience. And I tell you, it makes the biggest difference. Yeah.
That's great wisdom, DL.
What you get back, and that kind of thing. And, again, keeping it to these are my feelings and I respect your feelings, know that I respect them,
Yeah. Yeah. That's really helpful for empaths as well.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. That's great advice.
Good. I'm glad I was able to contribute to this awesome conversation.
Oh, you contribute just by being, my love.
Thank you so much. Yes. And again, this is just a part of trying to, connect individuals and also connect them with the things that will empower themselves and make their lives a bit easier. Because I think, life is not easy, but it is manageable.
That is a choice. That is a choice and a limiting belief. And and yes, there are plenty. And I hear you. I do hear you. Yes, there's plenty of people that are having a lot of having a really tough time right now. Absolutely, you're absolutely right.
I think tools and strategies are so important now more than ever, and a lot of us have the time to join in. So for anybody watching, how would they connect with you? We're going to put your offer for the 3 steps about improving your relationships in the information box below, as well as how to contact you. So all of that will be found in the information box, and I encourage you to reach out to Gwen. She is amazing. She has helped me a bunch of times, actually, and I'm thrilled that you were able to join me. So thank you so much, Gwen.
Thank you so much. So the best way to contact me is support@gwenlepard.com, and leopard is like the big cat, but without the O.
Okay.
And for the free audio clearing, relationship clearing, it is gwenlepard.com/free audio. How simple is that?
Easy enough. Sounds great. Thank you so much again, Gwen. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for joining us today on Step Up with DL Walker. For any information about our guest, it'll be found in the comments box below this video. For more information on how you can recover from injury, restore vitality, and gain resilience from disease and trauma, all in the comfort of your home, click the link on the screen. Until next time, take good care of your body, mind, and spirit. It's the only true home that you really have.